All right, what's going on, you guys? As most of you may or may not know, Mark Bell with Super Training Gym is releasing a shoe called the Powerlifting shoe through Reebok on January 1st, 2014. Now, a lot of you are probably planning on buying this shoe, and a lot of you probably already know about this shoe and have looked it up. But for those of you that don't, I'm going to talk briefly about what it is, what the idea behind it is, and what the purpose of the design of this shoe is meant to fulfill. So basically, this shoe looks a lot like a Chuck. I'm going to put a picture in here right now. All right, so this shoe looks a lot like a Chuck. It's made by Reebok. The idea is to have as flat of a sole of a shoe as you possibly can, so you're as close to the ground as you possibly can be. From my understanding, the bottom of the shoe has some sort of pattern to make it more adhesive to the ground, so that your foot is firmly planted on the ground when you're deadlifting or bench pressing or squatting. When you're doing any of those movements, you need your feet firmly planted on the ground. That's the idea behind this shoe, that it's going to help you do that. So basically like a Chuck, but with a better design on the bottom to help you stick to the floor. I believe it's a little bit higher, has a higher rise to it than a Chuck. It comes up higher on your shin. So it offers you a little bit more protection there from the bar scraping your shin. Personally, the only issue that I have with it is the fact that it says CrossFit on the shoe, which was kind of to be expected since it's made by Reebok, and Reebok is the company behind CrossFit. But I really don't like CrossFit. I'm not really a fan of it. So really, if the shoe's called the Powerlifting shoe, I'd rather the shoe say Powerlifting shoe on it than Reebok CrossFit shoe or whatever the fuck it says. But it says CrossFit on it a couple times, I believe. And that's really the only design flaw or design issue that I have with it. I feel like a lot of powerlifters aren't going to want to buy that because a lot of powerlifters don't really want to be associated with CrossFit, because some of us don't really like the idea of CrossFit. So that's really the only flaw that I found with the shoe. The price estimates that I've heard are over $100 now. As to whether or not that's true is yet to be seen, but really I have a feeling the shoe is going to be overpriced because there's probably going to be a limited quantity. I feel like they're going to release this and kind of get a feel for how many people are going to be buying it, kind of get a feel for the market for this shoe. So I feel like initially they're going to release it at a very high price because they're going to be low quantity, and kind of a high demand initially. So I feel like that's the way it's going to be. Will I buy it immediately? Probably not. I'll probably wait till the price goes down. But those are just my thoughts on the release. It'll probably be pretty overpriced. Excuse me. Just to see how people will react to the shoe, and just to see how many people are going to buy it and that sort of stuff before they really get a firm price that they can set that's a little bit lower and that a little bit more appealing to other people. So those are my thoughts on the shoe. I think overall it's a good idea. The design looks cool. It looks badass. And I think it will be very successful, with the exception of the CrossFit logo or insignia that's on the shoe. Maybe a lot of CrossFit people will buy it as well as powerlifters, but as far as it being a powerlifting shoe, I think they should take off CrossFit and put powerlifting on the shoe. That'd make it a lot cooler, a lot more appealing to powerlifters, and that's really just my only critique of the shoe, is the design itself, incorporating the CrossFit logo. So other than that, I think it's going to be a good shoe. I think it's going to be cool. Maybe overpriced, maybe not. I could be wrong. But I do wear mostly Chucks when I'm powerlifting, so hey, if this is like a Chuck, man, then more power to it, because I fucking love Chucks. But if it's overpriced, I might not buy it immediately, because I could probably get 4 or 5 pairs of Chucks for the price of $120, $130 that they're probably going to list this thing as. So we'll see what happens. It's yet to be seen. The release date, again, is January 1st, 2014. Looking forward to the shoe, man.